Hi, this is Al Davis from CurbThoseCravings.com, and this is Cooking 101, Slicing and Prep of Onions and Garlic. To do this, you don't need a whole lot. A cutting board and a knife will do for a start. This Cooking 101 series isn't an actual course, but a bunch of cooking tips to help you do things faster, easier, and quicker than you might be able to do now. So if you're going for long-term weight loss via a whole foods plant-based diet, you're going to need these skills. So enjoy.
So let's slice this thing up, shall we? What knife do we use? We don't want to use the boning knife. We don't want to use the paring knife. What we want is either the Chinese chef's knife or the French knife. Since this is the knife of choice for most people, I'm going to go ahead with this one, although I prefer the other one. Take the onion with the root end on one end and the stem end on the other end. Hold yourself at this angle to it. In other words, you're looking down the equator of the thing. Cut one end off, and the other end off. That was not a very good slice. Let's try that again. All right, get all the extra out of there. Now, laying one flat side down, cut it in half, put these face down, and just peel off the outer layer. Now, you're not going to get too crazy about this. I see people who try to get absolutely every last particle of onion on this, and you will make yourself totally nuts in the process. And also you'll find out that there's pieces of skin that are left in here which are too chewy to cut or too tough to cut up. So take a good layer of onion off so that there's just onion underneath and not skin. So here we have our prepared piece of onion half. Now from here what we're going to do is we're going to cut down at an angle like this, and this is what the knife looks like. All right, we're going to cut most of the way through this, and then we're going to cut in slices all the way down to the end. All right, I'll move a little closer, hopefully be able to show you a little better what this is, what we're doing here. Okay, slice like that, and you notice it's not all the way through. Slice like that, slice like that, like that, like that. All right, so what's happened is we have something which is solid, all right? And it's not going to fall apart, so it's easier to slice. And using a claw made out of my fingers, I'm going to slice down like that at an angle. See how we got the little cubes of onions? And again at an angle. And then as you go around this thing, you're going to change the angle like so. And go around again, and again, and again, and again. Notice the angle has changed. We've got all these nice little pieces of onion. And again, and eventually we're going to get to the point where we left everything sticking together. And there, I just chop it up like this. And we have a chopped onion very quickly, very easily. And I'll do it a little, actually I'm going to use my other knife here because I prefer this. I don't like working fast with that other knife. Oops, screwed up with there. And even if you cut a slice in half completely like I did, you can still work with it if you have other ones to sandwich in between. All right, I'm working a little bit faster here, as you can see. There you have 2 sliced onions. The elapsed time on that is probably less than a minute once you get going. It's not difficult at all. All right, so let's talk about garlic. So you can buy garlic in several ways. One is like you buy the entire bulb at the store, like so. Then what you do is if you want to open it up, well, first of all, when you get a head of garlic, you want to get one where there's no pushback on the thing. There's no squishiness, I mean, and everything's pretty solid. You want to make sure that the cloves in there are big too, because if you have to deal with a head of garlic that has tiny cloves, you will make yourself crazy taking the skin off of them. All right, so what we do is just peel off a piece like that, peel off a couple, and this is what we're left with. All right. From here, we take the big knife, the chef's knife, cut the stem end off. That's this end here, and then we're going to cut the tip off there too. This thing is going to want to walk around, so you have to be careful when you do this. You cut each end off, and again, cut off each end. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the flat part of the knife like so and put our hands on it like that. All right, can you see what I'm doing? You have to be careful on this that your hand doesn't touch the blade, because you do not want to be cutting your hand, you want to cut the garlic. So put that there, keeping your hand arched, and you want to cut that or hit that just hard enough to loosen this up, and the skin will come right off. All right, it's no big deal. I see people making a major production out of this, buying gadgets to do this with, and it's really not necessary. I'm doing it slightly differently here. I'm doing it from a raised position like that. And just peel the garlic like so. Now, if there's another way to get garlic, which is a whole lot easier than this, and which is the one I use and which I prefer, and that is you buy it pre-cut. And if you use as much garlic as I do, you'll see the big advantage of getting this stuff. It's a whole lot faster and a whole lot easier. Sometimes people are tempted to get garlic powder. Now, garlic powder in the long run may wind up being easier, but you will sacrifice flavor. On the other hand, it is a whole lot faster. So it's your choice. If it makes a difference to you, use the fresh stuff. If you don't really care that much and just want something kind of garlicky, go for the powder. In any case, how do we cut this thing up for sauteing? The easiest way is to slice it whoops, I didn't get all the skin off. Slice it up slice it into slices, so that's a logical thing to do, isn't it? This may have a little more skin on it too. Nope. And I'm just slicing it up. Notice the position of my fingers, all right? I'm keeping my fingers away from the blade. You know, I don't have them like that because that's the way you're going to get cut. You're forming a little V in there. Can you see that V? I'm exaggerating it to make the point. Forming a little V between my finger and the knife blade right in here, and that way you stay way away from the knife blade when you're cutting. You do not want to cut your fingers on these things, particularly if they're razor sharp. Well, you don't want to cut them at all, but they will cut very easily if they're razor sharp. Now, the easiest way I found to slice this stuff up is using the palm of the hand on the back of the knife and keeping these fingers out of the way. Just rock it back and forth like so. There's a little skin that's in there. Just rock it back and forth. And you got chopped garlic. If you're using a Chinese chef's knife, though, you can chop a whole lot faster. So you can grab the knife like that, and you can rock it. And you can literally go twice as fast. And when you're scraping stuff off the blade, whether it's this knife or the French knife, you want to make sure you scrape away from the knife and not toward it. And there you have perfectly chopped garlic. Now let's say you want to make garlic mush out of this stuff. Something the recipe that doesn't call for whole cloves. I'm going to use this knife. Just use the blade like so. This knife doesn't work as well as the other knife. So what you're doing is getting everything flat, and then you're going back. You see how it's getting mushy? So let's get it flattened out. Let's use the other knife and you'll see the difference. Because this way you can use the edge of the knife like so. You can squish it, putting hand pressure down there. See how everything flattens out? And again, you can chop a little fast. And now you have, and if I kept going a little more, which I'm not going to, you would have garlic pulp. There is actually an easier way to do it than this. What I'm going to do is show you what that is right now. This is called a plater grater, or grater plater, I'm not sure. You find these things on eBay. It's got a rough surface in here, and what you do is you rub your garlic right on there. This works with ginger also, and any kind of solid thing that you want to grate up, and that little brush there to get the stuff out. So we're going to take a couple of cloves of garlic from the cheating basket, and you just, oops, I got 3 here. This is just the big one. You just run it around in a circle like that. And you never use all of it. You're always going to get about half of it left over. And you all of a sudden, in very, very, very short order, you have garlic mush. Can you see it down there on the bottom? I don't know if you can see it. It's there. I'll put it out on the cutting board. And you've got it right there. Much easier. This is the absolute easiest way to get fresh garlic, is to use this thing plus this thing right here. Alternatively, you can do it the old-fashioned way, take it out of a head of garlic, or if you want to do the modern cheat way, you can use the garlic powder.